Let's take some time now for some real education. A figurehead is a carved wooden decoration found on the bows of ships, generally of a design related to the name or role of the ship. They were prominent between the 16th and 20th centuries until modern ships' badges replaced them. Sweden's Marnimuseum, dedicated to naval defense and the preservation of the country's naval history, has a hall of figureheads with a number of historically significant examples.
Yeah, and this is kind of a fun one I came up with, I think, for today. Take a look at the museum. It's a beautiful museum, and it's actually the Museum of Figureheads. And you can see there, they're mounted as if they were on the front of the ship. You know, they're all leaning forward, right, cutting into the air, driving the ship to where it needs to be. And, you know, even though the heyday of these things was between, as they said, the early Renaissance period, they go all the way back to the ancient world. This is not something that didn't you can see some of the Hellenistic, the classical versions of them as well, and they're really kind of a neat idea when you see them. Go back and you can see them in this sense, and they're a lot of women, a lot of moving forward, a lot of figures from war. Yeah, you could look at how intricately they're carved. Right, they took a lot of time on this, and one of the reasons that you did this was to try to make the ships look even more intimidating, right? Particularly when you had some kind of a gorgon or a monster sailing toward you. And when you think about the Vikings in particular, go to the next picture, Mike. This is a classic Viking dragon, right? And to see that coming at you, if you were a villager on an Irish or an English coast, and you saw those ships coming after you, you know death was going to follow. And so there's a huge, long, really interesting history of these figureheads. In fact, so much so that they have been themselves eulogized in romance. So go to the poem. We actually have a poem here, right? That deals with these kind of medieval dragon sagas, these Viking sagas. His dragon, now talking about the dragon, they're talking about the dragon on the front of the ship. His dragon with her sails of blue, all bright and brilliant to the view, high hoisted on the yardarms wide, carries great canute o'er the tide. Brave is the royal progress, fast the proud ship's keel, obeys the mast, dashes through the foam, and gains the land, raising a surge on Limford Strand. And all you see is that image of the beautiful image of that sailing through the water, cutting through the waves. And by the way, a little fun fact before we have our fun fact. Think about what a figurehead is. It's wooden. It's got a crazy stare. It has no functional purpose whatsoever for the ship. Elect Biden in November, and you're going to have the perfect wooden figurehead.